Hey, welcome back to another installment of 20 Credit Playthrough. Today's game is a game from a multi-game arcade cabinet called Three Wonders. Three Wonders held a game called Midnight Wanderers, Chariot, which is a shooter, and a game called Don't Pull. Today we're only going to be looking at Midnight Wanderers. And just like the last video that I did with the Punisher, we're actually going to break the stages down and create separate episodes off of them. So it looks like our main character Lou here is a bounty hunter. He just took on the job because he needed some excitement. As you saw in the beginning storyline, that doesn't really tell you a whole lot. I mean, whatever the frog is saying is nonsensical garbage, but who cares? It's a really fun run and gun. The graphics are great, as per usual for Capcom during this generation. I have no complaints. Another thing I really love about this game is the action. This action is super fluid and fun. This reminds me a lot of the fluidity of Metal Slug. And Metal Slug, as you may know from this channel, is definitely one of my favorite run and gun series. However, this mixes it up a little bit with a little bit of Strider thrown in. And also a little bit of Gunstar Heroes. It's not quite as frantic as Gunstar Heroes, but it's frantic in its own right. This game does support up to 2 players simultaneous. However, the second player, he just doesn't get a whole lot of credit. What I mean is, Lou, the character that we're seeing right now, he shows up in Marvel vs. Capcom as an assist trophy. The other character does not. And Lou also has a little assist trophy, or his own little sidekick called Firestorm, which we just saw. It was that purple flame. And he's even in Marvel vs. Capcom. Lou also was kind of featured in Cannon Spike, although the name was changed. And for those of you uninitiated, Cannon Spike was like a top-down run-and-gunner available for the Dreamcast and in arcades. One day I hope to cover that one. Another thing that is very Capcom-esque about this game is that it shares a little bit of DNA with Ghosts and Goblins and Ghouls and Ghosts. I mean, not only are you shooting projectiles, which in those games you were actually throwing projectiles, but in this one, if you get hit, it looks like you lose an article of your clothing. And I know it sounds stupid, but that helps you figure out exactly how many more hits you can take, which is exactly 1. So that means you can take 2 hits. However, in the levels, you'll pick up an item that will allow you to get reclothed, so you can take another hit again. So here we are at the Area 1, or Stage 1, Area 1 boss. This guy is pretty much a pushover. Yeah, I just got hit right now. However, his pattern's pretty easy. He just drops these spikes from his branches. They'll come tumbling down, but you can shoot them out of the way. On top of that, he just shoots some projectiles out, which are easy to dodge. Go over there and collect all the cards. No, I'm not gonna lie, I really don't know what those cards do, but I collect them regardless. I'm pretty sure they have something to do with the power-up system, but I could be wrong. Of course, the coins are only there for points. First continue. For anyone that knows from the 20 credit reviews and the 20 credit playthroughs, when we play any game on these series, even though 20 credit playthrough has just recently changed, the one rule that has not changed, however, is that we have to make it through the entire game on 20 credits. And you might be wondering why I chose 20 credits. The reason I chose that is because when I was younger, if I were to play in the arcade, I would usually get an allowance to play in the arcade of about $5. Most arcade games back then were 1/4, so 1/4 equals 20 quarters, which would be a credit. Of course, as time went on, more games started doing 2 quarters as 1 credit, and then even later than that, most games, especially now, do $1 as 1 credit, and I've even seen $2 as 1 credit. But since this is a retro channel for the most part, I'm going to keep it at 1/4 equals 1 credit, or 1 token. So thus, 20 credits. Alright, I'll stop talking about that now. In this game, you do have to keep moving on. If you don't, the characters will just keep respawning. So you don't want to stay still, or you're just going to keep facing the same characters over and over. Ooh, laughing guys. I wasn't even getting hit. What were they laughing at? I mean, not that me getting hit is funny, but whatever. So we came across the first stage boss now, not an area boss. And this guy, just like the area boss, has a pretty simple pattern. Fortunately, the way it's set up is that you can travel between the 2 levels of this area here. So you can go on the upper level or the lower level easily. Lou, if you jump up, now it showed him just going right through the level, but most of the time he'll hang on to the ledge, and then you can push up, and then that'll propel him up. And of course you could press down and jump, and he'll go down a level. You also don't want to stand right above this creature, because if you do, he's going to scratch at the surface, he's going to hit you. And also don't do what I just did. Fortunately though, it looked like he only had 1 hit to go, so as soon as I came back, I fired off a bunch of projectiles on my return and killed him. I'm sorry, defeated him. Alright, well it looks like that ends stage 1, so we'll leave you with a cutscene. Alright, stage 2. So unlike a lot of the games that I usually cover in 20 credit review or even 20 credit playthrough, this game actually did receive a port on the PlayStation and Sega Saturn. Actually, I should say 3 Wonders received a port, so all 3 games were featured in the collection. Now, I haven't played any of those, so maybe someday in the future we'll look at the ports and see how faithful they are to the actual arcade versions. Now, this game also did feature in the Capcom Classics Collection for the Xbox and PS2 in 2006, and also on the PSP and Capcom Collections Reloaded. These guys, you have to make sure, those guys were coming out of the ground, you have to make sure to hit them right in the middle so they explode. If not, it's actually really difficult to dodge them. So we've come across the Area 1 boss here. This clam. And even though his pattern looks pretty easy, the problem is his rocks, or whatever he's shooting out of his mouth, it's kind of hard to tell exactly where they're going to land next. So me standing or crouching right there was a horrible idea. Fortunately, he doesn't take too many hits. So we are done with him. So stage 2, area 1, clear. On to area 2. So these little guys suck because, as you see, they're being dropped from the sky, and then they hatch in the water. Then they keep coming down, and they never stop. Just like I mentioned in stage 1, the characters will just keep respawning. So you have to keep moving on. Sometimes it's harder, or it's easier said than done, though. Just because the characters trap you in a spot. Fortunately, when you come back, after you lose a life, you do like a projectile out of your body in, you know, all various directions, which will eliminate most of the enemies on the screen. Here we got the hang move, but I was just hit off guard by that wavy thing. Fortunately, in this game, the water doesn't really slow you down like most water does, so yeah, maybe unrealistic, but at least it's not frustrating. And fortunately, you don't have to swim either. Now this is a cool weapon, as it follows a ground route. Oh! Whoops. Come on, just keep moving. Keep moving. There we go. These guys are not fun. The ones in the water. Like, you have to make sure you're at the ready and ready to shoot at this point in time. If not, you're going to get caught off guard again and get hit by them. Here's another one. And of course, the bats are coming from both directions, so this is a game where you very much have to be on guard all the time. But as long as you're on guard, it's not too bad. Alright, stage 2 boss. Or should I say bosses? Trick to these guys is just making sure to stay out of their way. Whenever you can get below them, shoot them from below. Just stay out of their way. And I mean, obviously, it's not that easy to do. But if you can, that's going to be the strategy to hit them the most amount of times from a point where they can't hit you. Alright, another continue down. What is that? Continue number 3, I think? Did I really lose count that fast? Now this is a good point right here. Oh yeah. Just hanging onto the ledge, shooting up from above. And defeated. So that's gonna be the end of stage 2. Alright, heading into stage 3. As we just saw in the last cutscene when stage 2 ended, it looks like the stakes just got higher. When we first began stage 1, it looked like Lou didn't even care about taking on this mission to find the Chariot. He only took it on because he was bored. But now his friend is being turned into wood, and he will save her. I mean, still not the greatest plot in the world, but at least it's something, and the stakes did increase a little bit. You want to shoot those hands, the ones that are acting as wings and also acting as the puppeteers for these puppets. Because if not, they can come back and they can repuppet. Whatever that means. I'm hanging in this area way too long, and the enemies just keep coming and coming and coming. As I had said earlier, they will never stop coming, so I must move on. Or, you know, get hit. And lose my outer clothes. Well, this option's pretty cool. Not only does it give me some sort of shield, but I can also disperse a shield and create projectiles out of it. Up the ladder we go. What is that? Horrible noise. Alright, so obviously we can hit these guys only when they're facing us. We can't hit their backs because they're immune on their backside. Alright, took him down and... Can't... Nope. 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 And just like all the other enemies here, they'll just keep respawning. So might as well just move on. Area boss, Dumpty. And he's just a bigger version of those guys we just faced. Or should I say, two bigger versions of those guys that we just faced. The rules are exactly the same. Hitting them from the backside isn't going to do a whole lot of damage. Hitting them when they're facing you is going to be what you're going for. Well, actually, it does look like I hit him from the back, and it does look like it caused a little bit of damage. Alright. We got a 1-up. So, area 1 clear. Let's move on to area 2. Annoying. Uh-oh. Shaky stage. Ground crumbling. Continue number 4. More crumbling ground. I better move it. No, 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 no. Okay. Continue number 5 already. Oh my god, seriously? Alright, stay on the ground this time. Come on! Continue number 6. Wow, this stage alone, or this area of the stage alone, is killing all my continues. So when you play this game, please be wary of this area. Alright, looks like we've come across the first area boss. Or, I'm sorry, the stage boss here. You want to be... Like, I mean, it's pretty obvious you want to stay out of his sword's range. But as soon as he puts down his sword, it looks like he throws down... He shoots out projectiles. And get out of the way of that too. Alright, so I think I got the pattern down. Puts the sword down, shoot him. Puts a... Oh, that's different. Now he's gonna shoot. There we go. Not so bad. Alright, looks like that ends stage 3. Alright, looks like we're heading into stage 4. Let's see what kind of wonderment and amazement we are about to face. Well, that immediately sucked. Alright, so we got some more of these puppet guys with their puppet wing hands things. Oh, are you kidding me? After making it through that? Alright, continue number 7. Oh, wait, really? Okay, I guess I made it through 9 continues. Had to reload, so 9 more credits put in. Looks like I lost count of the continues, especially on that one part of the last stage that we were in, where I just kept dying over and over. Fortunately, it doesn't look like there's too many jumps here. And right when I say that, there's a gap, just waiting. So it looks like these jack-in-the-boxes, you can hit them at the base and it'll completely destroy them, or if you hit their heads will go away, but it looks like they can come back from that. So they'll just replenish their heads. Hit these moons in the face. Hit them once, they get sad. What we want to do is make their faces implode until they go away. Alright, so yeah, I can only hit the head of this jack-in-the-box. Obviously can't go to the lower level and kill and destroy that base. So I just have to get away from it before it keeps coming back and shooting. Now we got, what, a conveyor belt of these jack-in-the-boxes? And which one will go next? So stage 4 is definitely getting a lot harder. Or at least the game is getting a lot harder. Like, some games have a gradual build-up in difficulty, which this has definitely had a gradual build-up in difficulty. Every stage has gotten a little bit harder than the last, but at just the right level. Just stay away from the jack-in-the-boxes. Alright. Made it through here. What do we got? Next part of this palace. Go in and collect some of these. Stage 4 boss. This guy's like a luchador son. Horrifying. Learn my lesson from... Nope. I learned my lesson from where the spikes are going to be coming from when he takes his armor off, but I wasn't expecting him to come down on me like that. I should have expected it that time, though. Come on. He's only got one more bar left. Another continue down. There we are. And that, my friends, ends stage 4. So we'll leave you with a brief cutscene before we head on to stage 5. Alright, here we are in stage 5. As you saw in the last cutscene, we just saw Gaia talking to his minions and pretty much threatening them. If they fail, he will kill them. But not if we get to him first, of course. Now, I have to go over some of what I said earlier in this video, or if you're watching it in stages, and what I said in some of the earlier stages about Lou. So I said that Lou was part of Cannon Spike, however that is incorrect. Actually it's Siva. Siva is the second player character in this game, and the character that is based on Cannon Spike is named Shiba. I also didn't say which volume of Capcom Classics collection that Three Wonders was in. That collection was volume 2, and on PSP, like I had said before, it's Capcom Classics Collection Reloaded. I also want to mention that this game did come out in 1991. It does have really gorgeous graphics for a 1991 game, and when it was ported to Sega Saturn and PlayStation, that was ported in 1998. As we said so many times during this whole playthrough, you have to keep moving on, and I didn't move on with that flame character was on that column there, therefore I got hit. So, you must make sure I don't do the same thing here. Alright. Looks like we're facing off against the Stage 1 boss again. Although this time, I don't have the advantage of having 2 levels to jump between. So it's going to be a little bit harder, or should I say a lot harder, to avoid him. There isn't a whole lot of space for me to move in. I just have to make sure that he backs up. But fortunately, most of the bosses in this game, they don't take way too many hits, so it's not too bad. I should also mention that Stage 5, the one that we're in right now, is the final stage of this game. This isn't an overly long game, which is good, because then it might get a little too repetitive. Although I don't mind games that run about an hour in the arcade, but anywhere between, let's say, 35 minutes to an hour is a pretty good length of time for an arcade game. Well, I don't know why I didn't see that coming. Standing right below a guy that breathes fire that can breathe onto the level below him was a terrible idea. Alright, I got my clothes back. These dumpty guys again. And these are the bigger ones too. These were the ones that were the boss characters. Because right before we had reached the boss characters, we had reached like little versions of them. These are definitely the bigger versions of them. And of course the same thing holds true. You want to hit them from when they're facing you to cause more damage. So we can get behind him and... Nope, that was a bad strategy. Don't do that. Well, I guess I was cornered on all. So either I go to my left and right and try to take down the dumpty guys, but right from the top I got hit by flames. Fortunately, it's a lot easier. I'll have to take down one of these guys at the moment. Oh, here's another one. Easy enough. That looks like a platform for a boss. Let's see what's going to happen here. There we go. This guy again. We have to make sure as soon as he throws down his sword, jump faster. Alright. Now he's gonna breathe out a fireball. Yep, there we go. So that's strange. Every time his fireball hits his sword, it looks like his sword takes damage too. I don't think we're gonna get to see that though. Yeah. Another one up. Area 2 clear on Area 3. And more of these guys, these rotating platforms. Those are so much fun. Of course, you want to avoid the spikes, which I did not do. And just like any other game where there are platforms, there are bound to be flying animals, like bats or birds, to knock you off your footing. Final boss, Gaia. No mortal power can challenge me. I will show you your folly. Alright. Little lightning storm down from his fingertips. And that hurt. Unlike Gunstar heroes, you can't run and shoot at the same time. That's why this game does have a lot in common with Ghosts and Goblins. But like I talked about in Stage 1, it seemed to be like a mixture of all those games put together. Alright, losing pretty fast here. Arc of... Okay. As soon as he shoots out that arc, he's gonna fire something out of his mouth. Avoid that. But it's not that easy because if you jump too fast, you're gonna hit the arc of fire. If you take too long, you're gonna hit by the projectile that he shoots out. Alright, here it is. 2 more continues. It's all we got. We gotta beat the game in 2 credits or less. Fortunately, it looks like he only has 1 life bar left. That's how many hits it takes to take him down. That's it. I mean, I'm only powerful because I can keep continuing, so thanks. That's it. That's the end of Stage 5 and also the end of the game. So thank you so much for watching Midnight Wanderers on 20 credit playthrough. If you like this content, please hit the subscribe button. Also, I could always use a thumbs up. So please like, share, and comment. And we'll see you next time on 20 credit playthrough. I'll leave you here with the ending scene.